came up were 19 and 20. On your test, it's not going to be like a T-chart. So like it would say something like the rate is 8%, and then it will ask you to, what's in the directions? The principal balance was $10,000, and then it wants you to find it. This one was compounded continuously. But let's say I gave it to you and it said T years. I'm just going to skip to one. I'm going to do the 21 because you won't have to do all of them. Let's say T is 20, okay? Be prepared to answer this question for annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily. It could be any of those things. And then also continuously. So if it just, let's say we say monthly. What would my N be? 12, right? 12 months in a year. If it was quarterly, it's 4 times a year. If it was daily, 360, somebody's right. Okay, 365. Semi-annually would be 2. So if it was monthly, it would be A equals P1 plus 0.08 over N would have been 12 raised to the 12 times the years, which is 20. So 10,000. 1 plus 0.08 divided by 12. Oops. Okay. 49,268 and 3 cents. Okay. That would be if it was monthly. If it was continuously, it'd be the 10,000 e to the 0.08 times 20 years, which is $49,530.32. So again, it's probably, I don't think it says what to round to because you're dealing with the money. You just got to know to round to the nearest hundredth. So the format will be like that instead of like 19 and 20 were actually written on the review. No, these aren't interest problems, right? So the 21 says, I know it's blurry, but it says a new SUV costs $32,000. The value V of the SUV after 2 years is modeled by, and it gives you an equation. Use the graphing utility to graph the function, so you won't have to do that. You won't be graphing it. But then B says find the value of the SUV after 2 years. So this just means T is 2. So I would do 32,000, 3/4 raised to the second power. So you're just plugging in there. So 32, 1, 2, 3. 3 divided by 4 raised to the second power.
Are we going to have to explain?
No. No, that would be if you were to look at the graph. So, but then 22, like determine when T is 0, determine when it's 10 years. I think those are all fair things. Yeah. Use the graphing utility. You won't have to graph that part because you don't have to have a graphing utility. This is, I would rewrite it as y equals log base 5 of x plus 2 minus 3. And then I have to move the 3 before I can convert it. So it would be y plus 3 equals log base 5 of x plus 2. And then the 5 comes over and picks this up. So 5y plus 3 would equal x plus 2. And then that last step would be to subtract the 2. So when you enter your values for y, you're going to plug it in here. That T-chart ended up being like 23 and -1, 123 and 0, and 623 and 1. So I just changed the scale on the graph that was there. Any other questions from this first page? So the question came up in the other class about 19 and 20, like, will it be in that format? No, it will be more like what your quiz said, where it gave you, like, how figure it out if it's monthly, quarterly, weekly, daily, whatever that is, and then configure it if it was continuous. So it would be more like that. All right, so first thing you want to do is move the 5 to the other side. Well, I guess it doesn't have to be the first thing, because the other thing you also have to do is get rid of that negative. So I can multiply or divide by -1, and it would be -y plus 5 equals log base 2 of x. You could have done it up here as well. Just don't forget that that gets applied to the 5. So I think there was, on the quiz, that was a mistake that was made. If you're changing the sign, make sure you change it to every term, unless it was in the parentheses. So now the 2 comes over and picks this up. 2 to the -y plus 5 would equal x. And then we plug in for y. So 2 to the negative 1 plus 5, 2 to the negative 0 plus 5, and then 2 to the negative 1 plus 5. So this becomes positive, and that's 2 to the 6th. What's that? 8, 16, 64. That's 64, right? 64. Yep. And then 2 to the 5th, 32, and then 2 to the 4th. Right? Yeah, 16. Good. Okay, good. And then your horizontal asymptote, because there's nothing in the parentheses, right, is at 0. I mean your vertical asymptote, sorry. X equals 0.
Is 21 and
So 60. These are the ones you're writing in terms of like log base B of 2, log base B of 3, and log base B of 5. So you have to write them in terms of those numbers. So if it's log base B of 4/9, when I expand the division, it would become subtraction. B9. And then neither of those, what they gave me, it was log base B of 2, log base B of 3, and log base B of 5. So I would rewrite this as 2 squared, and I would rewrite this as 3 squared, and now the 2's come forward. 2 log base B of 2 minus 3 log base B of 3, and then I can replace those with what they gave me. So log base B of 2 is 0.3562. And then 3, that should be a 2. Thank you. Log base B, 0.5646. And then multiply out 2 times 0.3562.
so we'll have a calculator.
Yeah, if this was part, it would either be simpler math or you'd have the calculator on it. And then 0.7124 minus 1.1292. Negative 0.4168.
And then like when it says like log B of 2, it's like oh, it says okay.
It gave me that value in the instructions, yeah. So log B root 5 would be the same thing as log B 5 to the 1/2, and then the 1/2 gets bumped forward. And then log base B of 5 was 0.8271. So just divide that by 2 or multiply that by a half. And I get 0.41355. I don't know if it said what to round to. No, so I would have kept it. Any other questions on this page? This was like page 2. Okay, second page. So now we're talking all the way through 3.3. Expanding, condensing. And then the last page, they asked for 111. So 111, I've got more than one log on one side of the equal sign, right? So what am I going to do first? Only if there's only one on either side. So I got to condense it first. So I'd get log base 4 of x minus 1 equals log base 4 of x minus 2 over x plus 2. Now there's only one log on either side of the equal sign. So I get x minus 1 equals x minus 2 over x plus 2. Multiply both sides by x plus 2. So it cancels on the right. On the left here, if I FOILed this out, I'd get x squared plus x minus 2 equals x minus 2. Subtract the x. Cancels out. I can add the 2 here. X squared equals 0. X would equal plus and minus the square root of 0, which is just 0. And then these are the ones we check, right? If it has the word log in it from the beginning, we make sure to check it. Can I plug 0 into here? I'd be finding log of a negative number. It doesn't work. If it had worked there but didn't work here or here, it's still no solution because you can't find the log of a negative number or of 0. So you want to make sure you check those. Questions?